Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and this is my honest review of LegalZoom. So in today's video, I'm super excited to share my experience with LegalZoom, coming from someone who has opened several businesses in the past. So listen, I was on the lookout for a solution that could streamline this complicated process of opening an LLC because I've always found the legal aspect of starting a business to be a bit intimidating and overwhelming. And so I was doing some research and I stumbled upon LegalZoom, and I honestly have to say it completely transformed the way I looked at handling all my business's legal needs. Now, I did my homework, read a lot about their services, and I decided to use them for a couple on my LLCs. So in this video, I'll discuss how LegalZoom made the legal process seem simple, the specific services that I found extremely useful, and their overall cost effectiveness. Alright, I want to be upfront with all of you. This review is completely unsponsored, so I'll share the good, the bad, and everything in between from my experience with LegalZoom. Yes, there were a few issues along the way, but nothing that would stop me from recommending them, especially to people like me who feel overwhelmed by all the legal jargon and regulations. So I hope by the end of this video, I'll be able to cover all of the information you need to see if LegalZoom is the right fit for your business. And if at any point you end up wanting to try them out, you can use the link that's down in the description because you'll get a bit of a discount that's not available if you go right to their website. So just a quick rundown on LegalZoom before I get into my review. They have been helping people, including myself, start businesses online for more than 20 years and have done so far more than 2 million companies. So I think it's fair to say that they know their stuff. Now, a couple of things really caught my eye about LegalZoom. One aspect that stood out to me was their DBA feature, doing business as, which allows you to operate your business under a different name. This was incredibly useful to my business, especially when I wanted to branch out into different markets without creating a completely new entity. It offered the flexibility to expand my brand's presence while maintaining a solid legal structure. Additionally, they have a helpful free helpline to discuss whether a DBA suits your business needs. I found this to be a big plus as it provided personalized advice that helped me make informed decisions about diversifying my business operations. Another thing that impressed me was their comprehensive legal support, not just dealing with paperwork. LegalZoom caters to a variety of business structures, including S Corps, C Corps, and sole proprietorships. This versatility was very appealing to me as someone who has started multiple types of businesses in the past. Alright, let me share my path with LegalZoom. So I've been using their services for a while now, and I've set up a couple of LLCs using their services. And what I really appreciated was how straightforward the whole process was. I also found it much easier to follow their simple instructions as they guided me through each step. Plus, there is no need to go anywhere else because you can do everything on their website and enter your information as needed. Just a quick note to mention, I found their website to be very simple and straightforward to navigate. Now, for me, the process involved selecting a plan, paying the fee, filling out some forms, providing my details, and choosing a company name. They even check the name's availability for you. I did face a small setback when the name I initially wanted turned out to be too similar to an existing trademark, which raised potential legal issues. This required a bit of creativity to come up with a new, unique name, and at the end, it all worked out. Then, of course, there's a waiting period for everything to get processed. Now, I made the decision to speed up this process by paying an additional fee, which was approximately $100, and I have to say the faster service was well worth the additional cost. LegalZoom kept me informed on my application status and provided any additional information they needed. I also found their extra features to be really helpful, like legal support and a comprehensive library of legal templates, which helped me save a ton on legal fees. And their detailed guide on the necessary permits and licenses for operating my business in different states. It basically made sure I followed all the rules and knew about all the permits I needed. However, I did find one small problem with LegalZoom while I was researching it. So while researching their services, I discovered that LegalZoom doesn't offer services to non-US citizens. So just a heads up, if you're planning a partnership involving a non-US citizen, LegalZoom might not meet your needs. However, for partnerships that are only within the US, this should not be an issue. Alright, so from my experience with LegalZoom, I found the range of plans to be quite comprehensive. They offer 3 main options, each tailored to different business needs. Now let's start with the basic plan, which is essentially free but requires state business registration fees. A key thing to remember is that the need for an employee identification number or EIN is crucial for tax purposes. LegalZoom can set this up for about $80 plus the state fees, which depend on where you're operating. Then there's the Pro plan, priced just under $250 annually. It includes an EIN setup, an operating license, and some really helpful extras like a small business expert consultation and a guide on business licenses and permits. They also offer an insurance consultation and can connect you with their affiliate Next, potentially saving you some insurance costs. But what really caught my attention was the premium plan, which costs just under $300 a year. As an addition to the Pro plan, it includes a legal consultation, copyright registration for your designs or products, and a full library of legal templates that you can change to fit your needs. These templates were a lifesaver for me, saving me a ton on legal fees. But remember, they're general templates and might not fit every specific legal situation. Now, one standout feature for me was the inclusion of a lawyer consultation in the premium plan. It saved me money and time because I did not have to look for a lawyer who was both knowledgeable and affordable. Also, regardless of the plan you pick, LegalZoom has a cool extra feature that lets you start making a website with Wix. It's free but comes with their branding, which can look unprofessional, so paying extra to remove the branding is something I'd recommend. They also provide accounting and tax filing services as add-ons. I found these services to be cost effective compared to my previous accounting firm, though it might vary for others, but it's something worth considering. Alright, so let's talk about the plans I chose for my businesses. For both my first and second businesses, I decided to go directly with the premium plan. I figured the extra cost was a small price to pay for the added legal support and services it offered. Plus, there's this express filing feature they have for an additional $100 available with any plan. It's a real time saver and speeds up the entire filing process. Now, what really impressed me about LegalZoom? Well, first off, they've got this incredibly user-friendly website. They made the entire process transparent and simple to navigate by breaking down each step and clearly explaining the cost. I thought this clarity was very helpful. Now, when it comes to the actual process of getting everything filed, it was very straightforward and hassle-free. Even when I had some questions, their 24/7 support team was there to help throughout the entire process. So I actually remember this one time, which must have been a while ago while creating one of my LLCs. So I basically reached out to them a couple of times while I was filling out the paperwork, and they were just so nice and knowledgeable and helped me with the whole entire process. But what really sets LegalZoom apart, at least in my experience, is the wide range of features they have to offer. I mean, when you compare them against other services like Trifecta or Zen Business, they just seem to have an edge, especially with their legal support, which was really useful for me. Alright, so would I recommend LegalZoom? In short, yes, they've been a huge help in simplifying my business setup from start to finish. Even after setting up my business, they kept in touch during the first year to ensure everything was running smoothly. Now they offer ongoing services like legal help and copyright protection, which are very helpful if you are always coming up with new designs or products. But remember, these are subscription based and come on top of your annual plan. In my case, the cost still worked out to be more budget friendly than hiring a lawyer. Now, what I appreciate about LegalZoom is its versatility. They're not just about LLCs. They can assist you with setting up an S Corp, C Corp, and sole proprietorship. However, as I found during my research, their services are limited to US citizens. So if you're not an American, unfortunately, LegalZoom won't work for you. So while I'm mostly satisfied with their service, I do think they could streamline their offerings a bit more, maybe incorporating accounting and tax filing into the premium plan, or creating a new package could make things more convenient for those wanting a full suite of services. Now, it's worth noting that these are separate add-ons, but still, they are generally more affordable than traditional accounting services. To sum up my whole experience with LegalZoom, even considering the additional services, turned out to be more cost-effective compared to my previous consultations with lawyers and accounting firms. I'm pretty confident in their ability to cover all the legal requirements for my businesses based on what I've seen and experienced. So there you have it, my complete and honest review of LegalZoom. I highly recommend them, especially if you're new to business or just want to streamline the legal side of your next business. And don't forget, there is a link in the description for a discount that's not available directly on their website. Now, of course, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section. I'll do my best to answer them as soon as I can. If this review was helpful for you, or if you're interested in more content like this, make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.